to Comics Corner, Season 1, Episode 3. Of course, your host, Jordan Owens, my weekly series of interviewing all of Southwest Florida's comedians. I'm here with Tommy Amado.
Hi, folks at home. It's good to be here, because I live here.
This is your house, man. Your schwanky house.
This is the mother-in-law's cave. That's what this is.
Do you like your mother-in-law? Is that the stereotype?
I'm actually a fortunate guy that does not have a mother-in-law. You know,
what do you mean?
Well, I killed her. No.
Oh, okay.
My wife's mom passed away before we even met, so you know, I'm off the hook.
Well, that's depressing.
Oh, okay.
Way to start the show off.
I'd love to start out with a bummer.
So, Tommy, you know, you were there at my very first show. We've been doing comedy for a while. How long have you been in the comedy game?
Oh, I hate admitting this. I started in 1994 at a place called Nick's Comedy Stop. But I think late '93, I actually I put my name on the list. It was funny. I was with this guy, Danny Miller. He's a guy from the south end of Boston. He's Jewish and Irish, funny as hell, comedian. And he said, "Tom, put your name on that list, you pussy." So I went over and I put my name on the list to Catch a Rising Star. Or it was Stitches. No, it was Stitches. Catches was in Cambridge. It was Stitches. So I put my name on the list, and the place closed down a week later.
You shut down Stitches.
Like it was an omen. I should never do stand-up. And I promised myself I wasn't going to do a big room for my first show, and because I said I'm probably going to eat it, and I did. I ate it.
Oh, really? Your first show didn't go very well?
Horrible. I said do 5, and I did 15 and ate it all the way through. It was terrible. And then my second show was a small venue, and I did well. So.
And I started going from there.
Yeah.
So what's that? 16 years?
Yeah, 16.
You say 94?
16, but not straight out. Obviously, you know that. I mean, I can fucking hardly put a half hour together. That's all I'm really comfortable with. And you know, the guys who I started with who were all like big stars that are doing 1 hour specials. I stopped for a while. I was doing comedy. I just wasn't putting a lot of effort into it, you know. And so I mean, there was this maybe a 5, even a 7-year span that I was just like dicking around, hosting shows, and maybe getting a feature spot here and there, and just primarily concerning myself with drugs, whores, and alcohol.
Well, that's what most comedians end up doing: is drugs, whores, and alcohol. That'd be a running trend.
I was really good at it, though.
Were you?
Really good at it.
Is that true though? Can we get real? Was that real? That was your focus?
Yeah. My entire focus was having a good time and making people laugh, whether it was on stage or off, and more than you know, it was always off stage.
Off stage.
Nobody wants to hire a trainer.
Like, you know, what is the difference, you know, between doing comedy in New York versus doing comedy in Naples?
It's kind of like I don't know. I'm trying to find a good fucking euphemism here that's actually funny, but I mean, I can't be funny with this because it means so much to me. In New York, let's go with Boston, because Boston is my home and that's where I'm from. And then I moved to Brooklyn and I said, this is now my home, because I just felt like I was well meshed and I fucking blended right in. And when I was doing comedy there, it was much like Boston, and Boston had this camaraderie of comics who, if they saw somebody do your bit, they would not only punch the guy in the fucking head, they would call you up right away and go, dude, I just punched this guy in the side of the head for using one of your bits, you know? Or they'll at least reprimand the person, you know? At the very least. They'll just say, lose that bit, that's my friend fucking Danny Miller's bit. Don't ever fucking do it again. If I see you do it again, yada, yada, yada. That's what we had there. And when I came here, I didn't see that, and I actually got a phone call. It was actually more like a text message from a female comic from up in Boston. She says, verbatim, she says, can you do me a favor and tell all those Florida acts to lay off the hack? I was like, oh, I still want to share this, and I guess I just did. The thing about stand-up though was the fact that, you know, like when people steal, the reason why they steal, it's kind of like Bill Burr said this in one of his podcasts. He says, I had this fucking terrific bit, and I'm butchering what he said, but he said I had this terrific bit, and I had to work it out, and I didn't work it out, and then I went and tried it on stage, and it didn't work, and then he goes, but that's just me. I always want the results without having to put in the work, you know? And that's a great way of thinking, because if you look at it that way, that's why people steal.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to do the work.
Results without the work.
They don't want to do the work. They would rather just say, hey, I know how I can twist that into my own, which is very sad. That's what I love about this business is if you're great, you'll shine. If you're not, you won't. Bottom line, it'll always catch up to you. Yeah, it will. It'll definitely shine. It'll definitely show. Your true colors will always come through. You know?
Who do you like working with in Florida?
My very favorite is Max Doyle.
Yeah?
Max Doyle. He is more real than comics that I knew in Boston. You know?
I really think he would like fit in up there.
He wears his life on his sleeve, and that's not just because all of his bits are written into his tattoo.
Octopus, yeah.
But he does. He really, really lives with his life on his sleeve. He sugarcoats some things for obvious reasons. He's a bartender, and you know, and he books shows. So he kind of can't be 100% honest with something. But when you got him backstage and you're goofing off with him in a green room, he is fucking 100% real. And
funniest person off stage.
And I love that. You know. And Scott, I like working with him because we have constantly butting heads, you know.
Wow, Dad, stop fighting. Just hang out with you two in a car ride. That's fun.
What was it, James Dean? You're tearing me apart! James Dean, old movie. Anyway.
What?
Yeah, sorry, I just went away. I'm back, people. Andrew Scott, I love because, you know, I mean, he knows how to write. He needs work. Every one of us needs work, you know.
Yeah.
But he knows how to write. He's, I mean, when it comes to a roast, he's on key. You know. He really knows how to rank on people in a professional way. He does.
He knows how to shit on you very professionally.
And I'd have to say, and it's kind of biased because I look at the guys who've been in the business the longest. You know, those are the guys who I enjoy because we think on the same wavelength. You know, we think on the same level. And I'm not saying that we're better, but Matt Harding is another one. You know, because they've been doing it a while. You know, and same with Brian Hamilton. Brian Hamilton, you know, I love working with him as well because it's that respect of the business. And knowing that everybody has their part to put in, and they know what their job is, they go and they do it, and they get off stage, they don't dick around, they don't go up there and just, you know, you know, there are comics down here I've seen do that. They just completely fucking zone out. It's like, dude, you're here to entertain. What are you doing to these people? You can't do that to these people. The owner Moose at Patty Murphy's is actually telling me, he's like, listen, dude, this was funny last night because he had a buzz on. He said, listen, dude, you're fucking hilarious. Your material is shite. I'm like, thanks, I appreciate it. I said, dude, I did 3 new bits tonight, man. He's like, yeah, okay, they were all right. They were all right. But, you know, just fuck with the audience. That's what you're the funniest, Tom. That's what you're the funniest. Just fuck with the audience, you know. Which isn't always always the case, dude. You know it. You've hosted. And you can fuck with the audience up to a certain point, but you've got to have some substance.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years in the comedy world?
I don't know. I think I'm leaning more towards writing now, and the only reason for that is I'm starting to get into my stream of consciousness writing, and that's it's helping. Like, I'd love to be that road comic, because that's really the only way you get anywhere in this business. You know, unless you got to do commercials and TV and movies. But you've got to get noticed, and the only way to do that is to go out there and just hit, you know, fucking city to city, just keep on doing it, you know, and do the grind, and do the awful grind. I don't know, I'm at a certain age right now, but I don't know if I can actually do it, you know? I mean, I love to do it, but I hate to leave my wife behind, but she's behind me 100%. She's like, yeah, get on the road, do what's going to make you happy.
Get the fuck out of the house.
Exactly. Like, stop puking in my living room. You can puke in hotels all you want, Tom. Just the way I actually started was I jumped into this limousine. I was coming out of a nightclub. We used to do a lot of nightclub, and I don't know. You remember those little half vests? Half jackets. You know, with the puffy pants. You know, that look like W do-right pants and really thin ties.
I'm not that old, yeah.
That was the '80s. I was like one of those '80s guys. He used to dress to the nines and dance up a storm and try to get laid. You know. Well,
and I've seen you dance.
It doesn't work anymore.
Shirtless too. Yeah, that's not a joke.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, that's not a joke.
Not about that. Well, the thing about it is, the reason why I started doing stand-up is I dove into, because I watched this hot girl walk into this limousine, and I dove in right behind her, and she was like, "What the fuck?" And there was a dude over there and a girl over there, and I just started rambling. Just started goofing off, making fun of shit in the club, and the guy out there, the homeless guy. And they're all pissing themselves. And they're like, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a sheet metal worker." And the dude goes, "You should be a comedian." And that was the day I started writing. and I started writing.
Light bulb.
And it was I only like to make people laugh when it really means something. You know what I mean? Like when I have to go up there and do this dialogue of fucking fabricated bullshit, it's me going through the motions, and you can tell, you know, when you have to be a certain way on stage, like, you know, okay, you can't swear, or you have to, you know, you're doing this concept gig, like I'm doing one next week, and it's about the Oktoberfest, so I have to tell Oktoberfest jokes,
yeah.
You know, which is fine. I don't mind doing that, but. And I'm trying to have as much fun as I can. I love Brian Corian. He's another brilliant fucking producer. But yeah, when it comes to why do I make people laugh? I like to. Oh, why do I do stand up? Because I love to make to see someone belly laugh, to see someone cry, to see someone spit a cocktail out their nose makes me so fucking happy. You know, that's why I do it.
Oh, that's sweet.
You want a hug? We get
Well, what kind of advice would you give? What would you say would help make the Southwest Florida comedy scene better? You know what I mean?
What would make Southwest better?
Yeah. What like else? That's kind of what I try to do.
It's going through the motions right now. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing, and that's what I love about this town is people are getting it. You know, Brian, Matt, myself, Max, and a handful of other guys have been doing it for a while. Are finally getting it sunk into certain people's heads that this is the etiquette and this is the way it has to be done. This is, you know, what will make it work. And Brian, I think, is putting together a bundle of comics right now. I don't really know much about it, but you know, Brian is one of the more brilliant minds here. He just stays, stays. You know, like in the bushes. He doesn't really, you know what I mean? He's not just like, hi, I'm Brian. He doesn't, it's like, fucking, I'm over that. You know, that's what I love about him. You know? It's like, I'm over that shit, man. If I got ideas, you guys are going to find out little by little, you know?
yeah, he's got stuff brewing always.
Yeah. And that's what it is people are actually starting to get what stand-up comedy etiquette and the rules and regulations that go behind it, because it's a business. Bottom line, it's a business, and you got to treat it like a business, you know. So if you go into a gig and you're, you know, shit-faced, or you're too stoned to get on stage, or you're geeked out of your head on cocaine, well, you're shitting on the business. Honestly, I mean, you've seen me drunk after my shows, but very seldom. You will never see me hammered on stage doing my shit.
Any parting words for our viewers and all the comedians?
I don't know. For the comedians, be true, man. Just be true to yourself. Be, you know, be as real as you can up there. I know that I'm guilty of not being 100% real sometimes. I have some bits that my wife is like, "Will you lose that bit? That's not you anymore, okay? Lose the bit." But yeah, every time you write comics, you know, write straight from your heart. Because the more it comes from your heart, the less somebody can steal it. That's very important. And for you people, you know, everybody out there, keep supporting live stand-up. Live stand-up is a dying breed, people, and cable has destroyed it. Even, you know, the half-hour comedy specials or the hour comedy specials has destroyed it that you watch, you know, on TV. And the reason for that is as soon as those comics write those jokes, bring them to the TV, you don't have to go out and see them live. That's bad. You've got to go out and see comics live. It's very, very important. You know? Yeah,
definitely support it. You got a show in your area. Go support them, man. Support these people because we're trying hard to make you laugh. To make you love us. Well, we love you. We love you. That's the message we want to send. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in to Comics Corner. I'm Jordan Owens.
I had a ball. Jordan, thank you very much for having me. That was a lot of fun.
Tommy. Definitely.
Be safe, people.
We'll do it again.
All right.
Probably not.
Bye-bye.